The Super Mario Bros. Movie is one of the most anticipated movies of 2023 so far for many reasons. The rise of video game adaptations is a stranger to no one, as studios have clearly learned their lesson from the past and are now taking full advantage of bringing gaming icons to big and small screens. Adaptations such as the Sonic movies, the Cuphead show, and more have proven that it is possible to translate video games well into animation and cinema as a whole, so many people, including gamers, have been looking for more. However, after the box office and critical bomb that was the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie, it's understandable why Nintendo shied away from the big screen for many decades. However, after some baby steps, Nintendo is finally ready for a second chance at showing what they've got when it comes to cinema. However, when it was announced that Nintendo would be partnering with Illumination for this movie, it left many people to be skeptical, which is understandable because Illumination has a reputation for not really making the highest quality movies. But then again, it was announced that Nintendo was going to be involved in this project, and being that we've had some fantastic stories given to us by them through video games in the past, especially with Mario, I kept an open mind that this movie was going to have good writing to it, and by the looks of what we've seen so far, it looks like Nintendo's help is really paying off. I know they say it is not a good thing to overhype stuff, but if you watch the trailers yourselves, how can you not be excited for a movie like this? Not only did these trailers make the movie look like a huge deal, but anyone, including Mario fans, can see how much passion, effort, and care was put into this motion picture so far, as there is so much homage being paid to the Mario franchise, with stuff like power-ups, Donkey Kong, Mario Kart, and so many more Mario aspects that are looking to play a huge part in this film, just like how they play a huge part to making the plumber what he is today. These details are not the only noteworthy factors so far, as the voice acting is also another one-up. So far, it sounds like the cast is really giving it their all with their performances, such as Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, and especially Jack Black as Bowser, who all sound like they are very enthusiastic about the roles they are playing. And even though there is some controversy surrounding Chris Pratt as Mario, I am personally looking forward to him as the lead role. I will admit that I was a little underwhelmed when I first heard it, but the more trailers and clips that came out, the more I felt confident that he was going to do a good job. Yes, his Mario voice isn't perfect by any means, plus I will never understand why Chris was chosen to play the character, and not Charles Martinet, the iconic voice from Mario ever since the 90s. I will admit I was a little disappointed when I found out that I wouldn't hear Charles Martinet Mario speak full sentences, but he will be making cameos in the movie, so I will be looking forward to how that plays out in the film. But probably the biggest takeaway from the trailers we have seen so far is how the story looks to be playing out. Instead of having your typical Bowser kidnap Peach and Mario go save her type story we usually see in the games, the writing seems to be taking a twist, as we see Peach go from a damsel in distress to a free-spirited and strong leader type character who will do anything to protect those she cares about. Instead of her being the one who is captured, it is Luigi, which is a pretty interesting take on the character. Yes, Luigi has been captured a few times before in certain games, but he has had some other interesting roles before as well. For example, Luigi has joined Mario a few times to save the princess, and even had to rescue Mario a couple of times in the Luigi's Mansion series, and being that his personality reflects that of those games, it'll be very interesting to see how he struggles with being in Bowser's world. However, trailers are not the only factor that contributes to a movie's success. In the past year, movies like Disney's Strange Worlds and the Bob's Burgers movie have been promising trailers, but failed in the box office because of one fatal flaw, and that is poor marketing strategies. This means that while people did watch these trailers, the constant reminder that these movies will be coming to theaters just was not thrown out there during the time in between. So after watching these trailers, most people just forgot about these movies and didn't even notice them when they released in theaters. However, when it comes to movie marketing, Illumination is practically one of the kings of that strategy. Say what you want about the company, but if there is one thing that everyone knows when it comes to an Illumination movie, is that every entry they make is almost a huge success in terms of box office results. That is because they put so much time into marketing their movies, so that way whenever you walk down a toy or any sort of merchandise aisle in that matter, that's when you know that the company is telling you that they do in fact exist. Because of that, you should not be surprised that Illumination makes millions when you cannot go one Target trip without seeing anything Minion related. And it's not just Illumination that has accomplished this in recent years. Take a look at the success of the most recent film from DreamWorks, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. They made exclusive shorts to promote the movie, such as a World Cup video where Puss played against Weston McKennie, or look at this ASMR video which is both hilarious and entertaining at the same time. Those are factors that made the film a huge success, and even helped to destroy Disney in terms of box office results. The Super Mario Bros. Movie takes a mixture of both those strategies and cranks it up to 11, as the team behind this movie, both production and cast, hit it out of the park with the marketing. To start with, let's look at these posters. Every one of them for this movie are some of the most beautiful posters I've ever seen for an animated movie. Every poster is stunning to look at. Heck, when I saw the first teaser poster a couple of days before the first teaser trailer, I was ecstatic. I mean, just look at this. Need I remind you that this is the only teaser poster for the movie, and there is so much to analyze, such as Toad wearing a big backpack, obviously resembling Captain Toad from Super Mario Galaxy, a Yoshi egg from Super Mario World, and so much more. Now, if you think this poster is fantastic, it does not stop there. Now prepare yourself for a poster you may think you have seen before, because this one contains the floating head style, except it's actually done right here. What I mean by that is, unlike a majority of other posters that use this style, where they just show the heads of the main characters of the movie, who all have the exact same expression on their faces and nothing else. It is one of the most generic ways to advertise a movie, and would likely be a contributing factor to why the movie would not succeed. But no, this movie poster actually has effort put into it. Instead of every character having the same expression on their face, everyone is booming with personality. From bottom to the top, we have Toad looking ready for adventure, Princess Peach with a look of determination, Kamek conjuring some dark magic, a blue Koopa paratrooper that resembles the blue/spiny shell item from Mario Kart, Donkey Kong holding a barrel and letting you know it's on, Luigi greeting the audience with a timid but friendly smile, Mario with his arms crossed in a confident look, and an ominous-looking Bowser looming over everyone with an evil-looking grin on his face. It's not just the characters that make this a fantastic-looking poster, though, as this floating heads poster has another element others of its kind does not. Background details. Over on the left you can see Bowser's Kingdom with a thunder and lightning purple sky, with a bunch of paratroopers flying ready to cause chaos. You can even see Bowser's castle with his army even lined up in a military-like fashion, which is super nice detail for a flipping poster. On the right, you can see a sunny and beautiful looking Mushroom Kingdom, with Toads walking to the town, tons of war pipes, floating planets, Peach's castle, and even Rainbow Road accompanied by northern lights up above. All this care and effort put into a promo style you've probably seen 1,000 times before really makes this poster unique and one of the prettiest ones of its kind. And if you want to see the main characters in more detail, well, look no further, because every one of the main characters has their own poster that fits their personality perfectly. First, we have Mario, who has one where it looks like he's ready for action, and another where he is training with some mechanical piranha plants and bonsai bills in the background, while performing his iconic jump as well. Next, we have Luigi, whose posters clearly pay homage to the Luigi's Mansion series, so that is a very nice touch as well. Also, we can see some enemies like Dry Bones and Shy Guys that he is going to have to deal with, so I can't wait to see that. Next, we have Princess Peach with determination on her face, while standing in front of the Mushroom Kingdom and even a crowd of Toads. Speaking of Toad, his posters look gorgeous as he has a look of adventure all over his body, while standing in breathtaking locations such as a mushroom forest and a field of fire flowers. speaking of fire, let's talk about Bowser, because if Jack Black's fantastic performance of him wasn't already enough, they decided to spoil us with these. Every single one of Bowser's posters absolutely blew me away when I first saw them. From him standing all while having a super well detailed looking lava in the background, to him standing in front of his army in a concert-like fashion, to him holding a power star with terrified looking penguins in the bottom right corner. I guess they're the ones who yield. And of course, we cannot forget about Donkey Kong, who is not only breaking barrels, but has a ton of details in his promotion that just put a huge smile on my face. Specifically the one where he's in the Coliseum, where if you look on the bottom right corner, you can see characters from the Donkey Kong Country games like Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, and Cranky Kong. If you thought that was cool, DK's other poster also shows an aesthetic-like environment from his game series, with details like a temple, a jungle, and him destroying a barrel. It really gives me hope that Nintendo will finally give us a new Donkey Kong Country game in almost a decade. Anyways, it's time to move on from the posters and talk about the merchandise. Now, I get that this is an area where Illumination does receive criticism, especially with the minions, but the merch for the Mario movie is some of the greatest merch I've ever seen for an animated movie. There are so many well-crafted toys you can find in your local store, such as these awesome-looking action figures that come with an item the characters will probably use in the movie, the pullback Mario Kart toys based off the go-karts in the movie, and this awesome Bowser action that exhales mist from his mouth, along with a visible red light that makes it look like he is actually breathing fire. And get this, the movie isn't even out yet, so all this incredibly well-crafted merchandise will most likely grab people's attention when they walk by them in a store, to not only show them how much care was put into them, but also to remind them that the movie is coming to theaters, so that way they will most likely go see it, and the movie will most likely be a success. And toys are not the only fantastic piece of merchandise, as they made shoes that look exactly identical to the ones Mario wears in the movie, and there's even a real-life replica of the Super Mario Brothers plumbing van. Speaking of...
Mario Brothers and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. When you think is in trouble, you could call us on the double.
When I saw this for the first time, I was speechless. I cannot believe that Nintendo actually acknowledged the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. For those of you who don't know, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show was the first in a trilogy of Super Mario cartoons that were released from the late 80s to the early 90s. It was known for having cheesy humor, hilarious live-action segments, and of course the music, mainly the theme song of the show. To see this theme song replicated so perfectly in this 30-second ad, along with the ad having a style that looks like you are watching it on a VHS tape, is absolute magic, especially for anyone who grew up in the 80s. And if that wasn't enough, the woman in the commercial is voiced by none other than Jeannie Elias. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I did not. The voice actor for Princess Toadstool in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. Don't believe me? Listen for yourself.
Please, Mario! Toad saved my life 100 times! We've got to save his!
Thank you, Super Mario Bros. It seems like the only thing you haven't drained is my bank account.
Now that is dedication. Speaking of, at the end of the commercial, there is a banner for the official Super Mario Bros. Plumbing website and phone number. And guess what? They actually exist. I'm not joking. Search Super Mario Bros. Plumbing on whatever browser you use, and there is an interactive website that parodies one where you would apply for a real job. There are buttons with sound effects and other Easter eggs that reference older Mario titles, which is super charming. And there's even a review from Foreman Spike, a character from Wrecking Crew that will be appearing in the movie, which states, "There's no loyalty with Mario and Luigi. The subpar Mario Brothers used to work for me until they decided to break off and start their own business. They'll learn their lessons someday." All I can say is, I cannot wait to see how such an obscure character translates into a 2023 movie adaptation with actual voice acting. You know what? Let's call the plumbing service right now.
Alright, this should be the right number. Wow.
I swear, if I received a nickel for every time the cast showed just how passionate they were to be a part of this movie, I would probably be making bank. I know I said earlier that the cast is giving it their all, but I didn't exactly go into full detail. There are tons of interviews where the cast sings the game's main theme, Jack Black literally dresses up as Bowser, and Chris Pratt even responds to the criticism and even teases a sequel to this movie. And there are so many more videos with the casting that just put an absolute joyous smile on my face, knowing that they love being in this movie, and are excited as I am for it. Once again, overhyping something is not something you should do, and despite everything that I have said in this video, I am still not 100% counting on this movie being perfect. But everything that has happened regarding this movie in the past several months has told me to really keep an open mind. And you know what? That makes me feel really good. Being able to feel positive that a movie is going to be great is always a warm feeling. Even if there is a slight chance that the movie will be underwhelming, I will always respect how much the cast and production team behind this movie put into advertising this project, and I cannot wait to see it come to life on April 5th. Anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below, and remember to keep calm and let life carry you on.